All right, welcome back. I'm doing another tier list. I don't know if everyone likes these, but I like doing these, so I at least have a couple more planned. Today, we're going to do the tier list for V17 boulders in the world. So the list is starting to get large at this point, so I figured I'd get this done before it gets too big, before V17 becomes the new V16. I'm gonna put the ones that have the actual like repeats towards the front here. So I think this is all of them. I'm sorry if I missed one. I don't really keep up with climbing stuff that much anymore, I'll be honest with you. Like last time I checked, there was only like 4 V17 in the world. There's way more now, so uh, yeah. But anyways, the big ones are Alphane, Burden of Dreams, Return of Sleepwalker, and then where did it go? Like the first four. Oh yeah, it is this one, Sudan Soul. So I don't really know what my criteria is. I'm just gonna kind of say what's cool. Here, I'll tell you what. I will start with these two because there's no video, so I really can't judge them. I really shouldn't even put them in a tier at all, but there's literally no video, so I can't like be like, oh, that's cool. This one looks kind of cool. I've seen a video of him working on this in the past, but we don't have videos for these yet. So I guess they shouldn't even really be ranked at all, actually, by that logic. So I just will keep these three off the list because I haven't even seen the climb. So we'll keep it off. This one might be cool, but I don't think I've seen the video of it. So first we've got Alphane. That's probably honestly one of the coolest ones on here. It's very like aesthetic, and it's just kind of got like a little bit of everything. I guess it would be cooler if it like topped up more directly, but that would turn into like a mega highball. I don't think that's necessary, and it'd probably be way harder than V17. So I don't know. This one's got the most repeats. I think it's considered one of like the softest V17s, but I don't think that really takes away from the quality. So I'm gonna put this in A tier. Then we have Burden of Dreams next. That's like the first V17. So that one just automatically deserves like tons of respect. And that one's very like pure line, very aesthetic, like very short and sweet. And that one's been repeated quite a bit. That one's pretty awesome too. So that one's, I think, the only one that might be an S tier, just because it is like the first V17 and it is just such a perfect line. So that one deserved to go in S tier. So then next we have Return of the Sleepwalker. I think the actual Sleepwalker climb is really, really cool. And I was waiting for a long time for that to get like a proper sit. Because I remember when like Sleepwalker first got done, I was like, there has to be a lower start to that, right? And then it got done. I was actually really excited for that. I was like, this is like the final line, like the purest, the most complete line. So that one's pretty cool in my opinion. I think even just the regular Sleepwalker is really cool. It's such a cool climb. Just like the undercling movement is really cool. You don't see like a lot of hard stuff like that and just undercling. So that to me is like such an aesthetic line. The movement looks really cool on it. I bet the holds in person feel really cool. That one to me I think is an A tier as one as well. This one I don't even know if it's considered actually like proper V17. It's been done if this website's correct. So I think he got the first ascent. Simon Lorenzi. That or is this guy? So it's been done 3 times. So that one's got quite a few repeats. This is just like, I think it's either an alternate start or an extension to the Big Island, which is an extension to the island, which is pretty sure that was first done by Dave Graham. So that climb is very aesthetic, very cool looking. I almost think that like I can't say much about the difficulty. I've never touched it. I don't climb that grade, but that one's considered like I think soft also for the grade. Not that that really matters too much in terms of quality, but it could take some points away. I don't know. I don't know if that really should be included in the point system here. I don't really have a proper system. It's just based off how cool it is and how aesthetic it is and how I personally feel about it. But this one, I think I'll give it B tier. Like based off aesthetics and movement, it should probably be in here, but I feel like I actually think that actual Big Island climbs, like the start to that, which I could be remembering wrong. I need to I should have refreshed my memory. But to my understanding, like the start on that, I thought was like more pure than the start for this one, which just seemed like it was more of like just like looking for more like difficulty points than the actual Big Island. Big Island's just like the pure form I saw. There's another climb that goes to the right of this boulder that I forget who did that. That might have been Simon Learnsey as well. Someone did that one, and that one's like V16 well, which I thought that was a pretty cool one as well. Just climbing, I think that was a pretty like pure line, just going from the right and climbing into it. Still getting like a very difficult grade, but it's not V17. So I thought that was really cool climb. I always thought that the low for this, like the Sudan sold seemed a little silly. This climb, Spots of Time. This one's like honestly not that aesthetic. I don't even think it looks that cool. Honestly, like the movement on it, it doesn't seem like that like incredible of a line to me. And neither of the boulders at this point where I haven't really kept up too much with a lot of the stuff. I guess this one I haven't kept really paid. I never paid attention to what was going on when it was originally done. I know it's done by Aiden Roberts and Will Bosey, and I've seen the video of Will Bosey doing it, but I can't say too much about that one. That one's just like, I don't know. It's just a climb. It looks hard. I think it's like just a hard. It's just that one just is just like difficulty points, and that's like all there really is at the climb. And now if I could climb V17, I jumped on it and I climbed it, I'd be like, maybe I'd think it's a lot cooler. But to me, it just looks like something that's just like pure difficulty and there's nothing else to it. So I think I'm honestly gonna put that in like D tier. It's just to me, it's kind of like ugly boulder and ugly climb. So I'm all about like aesthetic holds and aesthetic looking boulders and a pure line, and that's still like, and it's like long, like these are all long climbs. This one's not long, but this one's like short and sweet. I guess it is a short one, but it doesn't seem sweet. It just seems short and hard, not sweet. So like this is just a perfect like angle the whole way up, just completely flat, like the most minimal holds to work was possible. It's just, this is such a perfect climb. Like an awesome dead point at the end. It's such a perfect way to finish a really hard climb. So next we have backflip sit down start. I think this is another one that's potentially not even considered V17, but it's like on the border, and it's only been done once, so we only have the person who's done it basically to work with what they basically said about the difficulty. So I don't know. I've seen the video of this one a while back. It looked kind of cool, but not that cool. It almost looked like another one that's just like looking for difficulty points. It almost seemed like there was already a pretty like good pure line there, and they just were looking for difficulty points, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Especially when you're at that level, you're at the top of the game. I mean, you're looking for like the next hardest thing. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a grade chaser, but I imagine if I was climbing V17, I would probably be a bit of a grade chaser, because it's like you're like one of the best in the world, so why not at that point? But I personally just don't like that whole game of chasing after the next best thing. It's like there's no end to it. There's no limit. I don't know, it just seems silly to me. Seems like a lot of attention seeking, but that's aside from the point. I think this one, it's like kind of aesthetic. The movement is cool. I'll give this one C tier. I don't think it's really that cool, but I think it's cooler than this for sure. This one is another one that I kind of feel similar about Return of the Sleepwalker. This to me is one of the coolest things in the world. This boulder, like just the original, like Defying Gravity. I always love the video of like the different beta used on it between Daniel Woods and Jimmy Webb. They use complete different sequences, and they're both so cool. And it's such a perfect line. It's just like straight directly up, just complete like flat, like a wall, overhung, like steep. And then it has these cool like features towards the top. And it's just kind of like almost like these like what do you call it? I don't know. It's all not rails, but I mean, it kind of starts on rails, but it looks like, I haven't seen it in person, but it just kind of like, it's just like this series of like I don't want to call them rails, but basically, I guess I don't know how else to describe it, but like you guys like work through these different features, and it just looks so cool. And I always thought that was another one that's like that should have a sit down start somewhere, and then it has one that adds like difficulty to it, and it's still like pretty cool looking. It's not like contrived looking, just looks like a really like This is all me talking, obviously from my couch, my armchair, or whatever. I'm through the internet. I haven't seen any of these in person. I haven't touched them in person. This is just as a viewer, but that one to me, I always thought was such a cool climb on its own before it got the sit down start, and then with the sit down start, it's just like even like such a perfect climb as well. I almost want to put this above. I like both of these better than Alphane. I almost want to put Alphane in B tier, but I don't think I should because Alphane's better than this. And that means this goes to F tier, and I just don't think it's deserving of F tier. So I don't think I can really put. So I think this is just has to take this. That or I move these two up to S tier, but I don't think that's. I don't think that should happen. Megatron, that climb's kind of cool, somewhat aesthetic. There's only really two videos of it. It's like the one where Sean Rabbit does it, and then there's a video of Drew Ruano working on it. It does look like a pretty cool climb. The movement's pretty unique on it. The crux looks really cool. And it's like pretty consistent because I think there's like in the video where it first got sent, like finally completed, like I think Sean Rabbit fell towards the top like after the hard climbing was done and still fell. So like that tells you that it's pretty consistent, which I really like that as well. A lot of moves, just a long battle. I think it's not the personally. I don't think it's the most aesthetic thing. Maybe if I saw it in person, I'd change my mind. But I don't know. I think this one I'd probably put in C tier. Actually, I'd put it in B tier. I put it in B tier. I think it's better. It looks cooler than this climb. Which maybe for both of these climbs, they didn't have like. I think like Will Bosey just went out there with like his camera and just shot it like his like on his phone or something. Just the camera on his phone shot it or something. I don't know. It's not like he had like a team that was filming like this really magnificent video. All these videos are just like magnificent, like production and cinematography, so and I think this video is the same where it just wasn't like really well shot or anything. So maybe that's why they're kind of going into the lower tiers or the videos I saw just didn't kind of like, they didn't really portray them in such a magnificent, way as these other videos. But I also do think this looks just not good, and the climb just doesn't look that great. And I feel similar about this one. So I think these other ones all have something unique about them that makes them really special and stand apart from the others. And they're just, I don't know, I think they're a lot more special. So next, this is the last one that I've actually seen climbed. This is Shaolin. And this one was done, I think that was like a year ago. This one's pretty cool. I'll be honest. It's got like two crux moves from what I remember, which the one crux move, which I think is the main crux, looks like a really cool move. And I think this boulder is pretty aesthetic, to be honest with you. I think a lot of the rock in that area is pretty cool, which is in Red Rocks. I'm pretty sure was done. I think a lot of the stuff in that area looks cool. I lived in Utah for a little while. I climbed at Moose Valley. It's different rock, but it's kind of similar looking. So I think a lot of that desert rock looks really cool personally. So this one, I think, gets the aesthetic points. I think the move points are there. Something does feel like it's lacking on this one. I'm not sure what. But I just feel like it's lacking a bit. So I'm going to put that in B tier. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what feels like it's lacking, but something just doesn't about it that feel as special as like these other four. So it feels similar to these ones. And then again, these ones I just haven't seen the videos. This one I have like seen the climb. So I guess I could rank this one. I just haven't seen it completed. And it's I'm gonna be honest, it's a pretty fucking ugly climb. The another one that just Aiden Roberts did that just like I'm not shitting on him at all. But he picks some ugly boulders to climb sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. I think this boulder's pretty ugly from what I've seen. This photo kind of makes it look kind of cool, but from what I've seen of it, it just doesn't. It's just like another line that's just like hard, and there's nothing else to it. It's just hard climbing. I guess if I ranked it, I'd put it in D tier. And then this one looks pretty aesthetic. I don't know anything about the movements on it, so I can't. I really don't think I should rank that one, but I figured I'd put it in here just to mention it. And then this one, I may have seen a video of this, or at least some of the moves on it, but I just really can't talk about it because I couldn't. I was trying to re-find a video of it, and I just couldn't find it before I filmed this. So I just can't speak on this one, but this one does look kind of cool. It's just like I love roof climbing. It's just a pure roof. I guess it's not as aesthetic, perhaps, but I think this one maybe would go in like C tier if I were to rank it somewhere. But again, I have to see the video. So maybe I'll come back and redo this when I have seen these videos and we have some more V17s. But for now, I think this is my list. It looks pretty accurate to me. I think this is definitely just like the pinnacle of V17s. Yeah, I think that's just like the best V17. It's kind of hard to not pick it because it is like the first one that was done, but it is such a perfect line. I think these climbs are also really awesome. This one looks really cool. I just always thought that the Big Island was a better climb than this. But if I could just be completely remembering wrong and it's literally just a lower start to the Big Island, I could be remembering wrong. I thought it was like an alternate start. So maybe that's my mistake for not going back and looking up the climb, and everyone's going to stone me in the comments, which is fine. And even if it was like a lower start, I still don't think this is on the level as Z3. So I still think I would keep this in the B tier, even if I'm remembering wrong. So I think that's pretty much it for this list. So, as always, feel free to tell me in the comments if you agree or disagree. What would your list look like? And if you like this video, please watch my other videos. I'm not going to ask you to like or subscribe, but please watch my other videos. I think that's it. I'll see you in the next tier list video or whatever I make. So I don't know what's going to upload next, but I will see you in the next video. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.